if you've been on TikTok any time in 2025, you would have noticed a resurfacing of old trends, specifically ones in the 2020 to 2021 era. From outfits to videos to dances, everything's kind of come back in a way. The main one is the profile pictures with all the anime glitter ones. But I wanted to talk about it because everyone's being like, please don't back out of this. But it feels, in my opinion, quite forced, and I think it's going to be a micro trend, and I just wanted to discuss it a bit. I feel like people want to go back. It just feels very forced. Back in 2020, people who were doing cosplays and stuff didn't think of themselves as cringy, but they did it because it was fun. People did it because they wanted to. Whereas now people are kind of being cringe on purpose. Like I keep seeing people say, to be cringe is to be free. And that's fine. And I agree with that statement. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. But at the same time, is that you, or are you just trying to fit into what 2020 was? 2020 was very expressive, and everyone allowed themselves to be true to themselves. Maybe fit in a couple boxes, but it was pretty good. But instead of, now we're in 2025, instead of making new trends, they're just going back to the old ones. No one's making any more content. It's exactly the same. It's just like everyone is forcing old trends back, which aren't going to be popular anymore. Maybe for a bit, but it's just, this whole thing, it will be a micro trend if people keep going. Now, I do think the same energy and vibes should be kept of 2020, that like lack of judgment and stuff. But at the same time, I think people need to learn that they need to make new content. For example, with the profile pictures, everyone's making the old anime sparkle ones, but everyone's watched Arcane, everyone loved Arcane, everyone had Arcane profile pictures. Like, I'm excluding the Jace profile picture wall, but everyone had Arcane profile pictures. If people want to add glitter to them and customize them, why don't they do that to the Arcane ones, or say Squid Game 2 ones? Like, there's new media coming out, yet you're going back to the old stuff. And I know you can like anime, I'm not saying that, but you don't need to have the same profile picture you had in 2020 because there's new things. Everyone likes Arcane. Why don't you customize your Arcane profile picture or your current profile picture? I think also a lot of people are only doing it online. Like, I know people have said, like, I know when I go back to school, everyone's going to look like the same and everyone's just going to be pushed into it. I mean, in 2020, there were people like policing it and forcing certain ideas and trends and looks, and like that's not right and stuff. People like policing it and being really harsh about it. So that's going to continue in 2025 because people are going to be like, oh, that wasn't right in 2024, you need to do this way. And then that's just not self-expression. That's just trying to copy 2020 and trying to relive that life, which we can't do. Like, people are like, oh, I want to relive my life, but there's no Dream SMP to stay up and watch late. Like, I never did it, and I'm not going to pretend like I did. But at the same time, you can't relive that when it's not happening. Like, yes, you can stay up and play Minecraft with your friends, but at the same time, no one was stopping you in earlier years. I've been playing Minecraft late with my friends. Me and my friends had a huge Minecraft phase back in February, and we played till like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then we're like, oh yeah, we've got school tomorrow. Like, no one's stopping you from doing these things, but we don't need to force ourselves back in time. There were a lot of things wrong with 2020. There was a lot of bad controversy and people were really iffy in 2020.
Bring back 2020 TikTok. We can't. It's impossible. You know why? Because we can't recreate opening your TikTok page to seeing a group of GMSB cosplayers canceling their mutual for cosplaying Jay Schlatt. We can't recreate that. It's like trying to perfectly recreate the Mona Lisa, like every single brushstroke. It can't be done.
Another point I wanted to make is people are going like, oh, I was happiest back in 2020. And that's good, and I understand that's probably because of self-expression. But I also think people are forgetting that a lot of people weren't happy. Like, I remember depression was at an all-time high. I said this on stream, no matter how many online friends you have, I don't think, in my opinion anyway, they can replace that real life contact and friendship. And I do think that that's important. And that's probably why depression was so high, along with other things. People were stuck in their room. You're going to feel even lower, even if you don't originally notice it. And I do think that people who were saying, oh, I was really free and happy in lockdown, there were also really boring moments. People were also bored out of their mind. That's why so much self-expression came around, because people were bored out of their mind and had nothing to do. I think also many people think of 2020 as this time where we had indefinite free time and you could do whatever, you can be on your own schedule, you didn't have to worry about school. You know, you could do basically whatever you wanted and spend as much as you want on whatever you enjoyed. You didn't have commitments. And I loved that too, trust me, I would love to go back to that. But you don't have that, you're just doing the trends. They're not original anymore, they're not new, they're just feeling a bit nostalgic. You can't recreate nostalgia. People are expecting to dress up like this, use these sounds, do the dances, maybe get into their old hobbies or whatever, and feel exactly how they did when they had indefinite free time and had all the time in the world. Like, it's just like one video which I recommend watching called Why Minecraft Feels Different Now by Robocast, and it's really, really good. And he states how, I'm going a bit off track, but Minecraft isn't the same, because even though you can log onto the same worlds and play with the same friends, it will never be the same as coming home from school and hopping on with your friends and booting up, like, say, your Xbox or your PlayStation. It won't be the same. You can't bring back all the old feelings of lockdown. You can have the memories of it, but it's not the same. You just can't recreate nostalgia. Overall, I think this will probably be a micro trend, but I do agree with self-expression, although I don't think anyone was stopping you from earlier years, and if you want to dress like that and act like that, you can. But now it just feels very forced, and it's just the new trend. We're pretending to go back to 2020 when you can't go back in time realistically.
Y'all did not appreciate 2020 enough. Same goes for 2016. This video is seared into my brain, and I remember just how much we hated living in the year of our Lord 2016. Now it's 2016 nostalgia core, gradient filter summer core, Galaxy EOS flower crown anime girl core. We need to stop taking these things for granted, because certain aspects of the pandemic were fun. We do not need another lockdown, don't even start. But everyone was complaining about how awful it was, and now I'm seeing nostalgia for something that was just 4 years ago. We can't be stuck in nostalgia all the time. We have to appreciate the now, because it's not going to last forever. We took these things for granted, and now I'm seeing nostalgia for September 2022. Are y'all not living enough? Are you not socializing enough? Or are trends dying faster? We have such short attention spans that nothing lasts anymore. We pick something up and then we drop it. Nothing lasts anymore because we have such a short attention span, and now, oh, I miss September 2022. Seasons change, but we need something that's stable, not something we pick up, forget about, and miss it when it's gone.
I also think people don't quite understand that although we have moved on, you can still live the same thing. For example, Dress to Impress was the new Among Us. Like, in 2024, when everyone was playing Dress to Impress, everyone was streaming it. That was like how everyone was streaming Among Us and playing Among Us back in 2020. Like, you can have new things and still have the same feeling and the same vibes towards it. You don't need to duplicate what happened. Whatever you do, it will be counted as cringe. Fortnite was counted as cringe and it came back. We will think Skibbity and all the TikTok brain rot we joke about will become cringe eventually. Just like dabbing became cringe. Everything will become cringe eventually. So just live in the moment and enjoy what you have. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. Shout out to all the people who responded to my TikTok story, asking about people's opinions on them. They're on screen now if you want to pause and read. But thank you for watching. Weirdly enough, although it sounds like I'm hating on the trend, I never actually left 2020. I mean, a lot of the things I do and participate in would count under cringe culture. Like, I'm a massive nerd and I stream and I've got PNG Duber. Like, that would classify as cringe to most people and would probably be related to 2020. But I don't really care. I think you should be your own self, not just do something because it's trending, whether it's 2020 or some certain brand of makeup or Stanley Cups. I think you should be you, no matter what.